they beat Shiprock 26-13. And the Panthers are coached by Larry Archibek. The Panthers are using a similar set than the San Juan Broncos do, of course. The San Juan Broncos and the Panthers will have pro sets, both of the teams using pro sets tonight. Those in a 5-2-4 defense as well. So both teams pretty much opportunity to get in there and show what he can do, and he's done very well in the practice, Coach Swenson has said. So Clyde Jones will be a new starter in at slot, and Steve Cochran again will be at quarterback. At the back positions, Jeff Nielsen and David Black. At wide receiver will be Squeen Nielsen, and at tight end, David Barfus. Both of those fellows are doing very well for the Broncos so far in the year. Across the line for the San Juan Broncos, Roger Laws, Ben Roberts, Craig Swenson at center, Jeff McDermott, and Richie Munson. The defense for the Cortez Panthers, across the line, Brian Ward, Lauren Brenton, Gene Johnsborn, Bert Ramsey. At the linebacker positions, Robin Almond, James Woosley, and Randy Reedhead. In the backfield on defense for Cortez, Cedric Kearns, Robert Caldwell, Doug Bond, and Scott Brown. That's the lineups for both of these teams offensively and defensively. I'll be back with the opening kickoff. You're listening to Bronco Football on 79 KUTA. Between the 5 and the goal line, I should say. And now here comes Ward's kick, and we're about ready for action at San Juan High School football field. And the kick is a good boot, rather a deep one, taken about the 15-yard line. Now it goes through the hands of David Barfus, taken by Todd Black, and he falls down at about the 10-yard line. And the wet turf is taking its toll already here in the football game. Of course, a lot of rain prior to this football game. So the Broncos take over 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line. The Broncos, of course, will be led again by quarterback Steve Cochran, and in the backfield will be Jeff Nielsen and David Black. The new position, Clyde Jones, he'll be in there instead of Todd Black. Of course, they will be shuttling back and forth throughout the football game, I should say. So the Broncos take over 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. In motion goes Clyde Jones, dropping back to pass on the first play is Steve Cochran. Steve Cochran looking downfield, complete to Jeff Nielsen. About a 13-yard gain, the ball all the way out across the 23-yard line, make it the 24-yard line. So Broncos coming out passing here in the early going. So San Juan picks up a first down on their very first play. Ball resting on their own 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Broncos already have a first down. 3 men in the backfield. Slot right, and the give goes to Jeff Nielsen. He goes off right end. He may have picked up about 3 on the play, so that'll make it 2nd down at about 7.
Coming out, number 84, Todd Black, and going in, number 26, Clyde Jones.
Broncos come out 2nd and 7. Ball marked at about the 25-yard line. And the give goes to Nielsen again. Nielsen off left tackle this time, and he goes straight ahead for possibly 2 on the carry. He's all the way out across to about the 25-yard line. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll make it 3rd down and 5. So Broncos will probably have to come out passing on this down. Look for the pass, as they successfully passed in their first play of this football game. So Todd Black and Skinny Nielsen come wide right. In the backfield, I formation, David Black. And the give goes to Black straight ahead. Black is stacked up, may have gotten a yard on the play. So that'll make it about 4th and 4 for the Broncos. As the ball resting on the 26-yard line of San Juan. And so Corey Cochran comes on to do the punting, as the Broncos will turn over unless they fake it. They like to fake it, of course. 9:45, no score in the first quarter of play here at San Juan High School school football field between the Cortez Panthers and the San Juan Broncos. Corey Cochran comes on deep for the Cortez Panthers. Is Scott Brown, and the kick goes to... It's taken by number 26, and he's immediately shelled. This guy was the receiver on the punt, and he was immediately put down at the Cortez 35-yard line. So Cortez will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. First quarter action, 9:16, counting down in first quarter action. Cortez Panthers, of course, are 4-0 in the season, yet to lose any ball game so far. So Cortez is a very good football team. Doug Bond brings them out. In the backfield, Reedhead, and the give goes to Brian Ward. Ward straight ahead. Ward may have gotten a couple back to the line of scrimmage. Marty Roberts in on the tackle for the Broncos. Skinny Nielsen also in there, as Corey Cochran also made a lunge in there to bring down Brian Ward, as Brian Ward was not listed as a starter, although he is in there. So now Cortez brings it out. Left goes Scott Brown in the wide receiver position. Brian Ward in slot right. In the backfield, Reedhead and Woosley. And the give goes to number 26, and this guy on the run. This guy runs it to the right, and he goes off the football field now, and it looks like Cortez is running a brick wall, because it'll be 3rd down and 10, 2 running plays, and none of them. Okay, he's wearing the wrong number. I'll see. Dropping back to pass is Doug Bond. Bond throwing over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete, so it'll be 4th down and 10, and looks like Cortez will be punting. So Kyle High running out there toward the right, and that will bring on the punting unit for the Cortez Panthers, as they will be forced to punt. So Doug Bond goes deep, and a man goes wide. Reedhead wearing number 23 or 26, we are told, instead of number 39. Todd Black is deep for the Broncos. Here's Bond's kick. It's a good one. High boot, end over end. Black calling for a fair catch. He fumbles the football. It's picked up by Cortez, and we can't make out the number there who has picked up the football, but Cortez has the football in San Juan territory. Now the officials are over there discussing it with the Cortez coaches. Larry Archibald over there. So Cortez has the football. I believe Brian Ward was down there to recover the fumble as Todd Black tried to catch it, as that gives Cortez good field position. So Cortez takes over 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of San Juan, and they have the deepest penetration. Doug Bond at quarterback for the Panthers, and the give goes to now Bond faking. Bond under heavy rush. He's all the way back across midfield. He lets one fly, and it's incomplete, as that was a nice defensive rush, of course, by the San Juan Broncos. Several Broncos were in there. Richie Monson in there chasing Doug Bond way out of the pocket, as Bond was way across the 50-yard line back into Cortez territory before he finally let one fly. He had nobody open, just let it fly in desperation. So Cortez brings it out. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line of San Juan. Cortez in the backfield, Reedhead and Woosley, and rolling left goes Bond, and Bond has some running room. He turns it upfield. He has some running room. He's picked up about 7 on the play. He's about the 24-yard line before he's finally pushed out of bounds. Several Broncos over there. McDermott, Craig Swenson in there on the stop flag on the play. It'll go against the Cortez Panthers, and that'll walk it off.
I can say if they stop that ball, a lot of balls are up.
Looks like a penalty against the Panthers.
So it'll go against the Cortez Panthers as Craig Swenson, the captain of the Broncos, comes over. He talks to the Cortez Panthers. More than likely, they will take the penalty. The Broncos will, because it was a good gain by Doug Bond as he ran around the left end, and he picked up about 5 or 6, make it 7 on the play, possibly.
It looks like a big one, 15 yards.
So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. It'll be a clipping call, I believe, was the indication. And it was a clipping call against the Cortez Panthers. So that makes it the ball on about the 49-yard line of Cortez, or of San Juan, I should say. Ball on the San Juan 49. It'll be second and about 20 yards or so for the Cortez Panthers. So Reedhead and Woosley in the backfield for the Panthers. And play action fake. Doug Bond under heavy rush looking to throw. Bond throwing downfield to Scott Brown over the head.
Nice pass from Juan to number 23, overthrowing 23.
Kyle High, check that, and was the intended receiver on the play, not Scott Brown. Scott Brown was out there. Brown was running parallel to Kyle High as High ran a deep pass. Just nothing there, so the punting unit comes on for the Cortez Panthers, I believe, as one house third down at 25, not fourth down at 25, check that. So it'll be third down and 25 from the San Juan 49-yard line. Cortez is pushed way back after they have to go all the way to about the 23-yard line for the first down. Dropping back, Doug Bond, passing situation. Bond rolling to his right. Heavy pressure. Bond throwing downfield. And it is intercepted by the San Juan Broncos, I believe. Yes, it is. And Farley Roberts picks off the ball for the San Juan Broncos. And San Juan has the football at the 36-yard line, and they take over there. A nice pickoff play by Farley Roberts to give the Broncos good field position. A couple of gains, and they'll be right across midfield. So the Broncos take over first and 10. Broncos bring it out. Steve Cochran at quarterback. Black and Nielsen at the backfield positions. And play action fake. Cochran. Heavy pressure. Cochran is hit. It's a fumble, and the ball kicks around, goes to about the 10-yard line, and Cortez will have a touchdown on the fumble. Randy Reedhead picked up the fumble and scores a touchdown for the Cortez Panthers as they go ahead 6-0 with 6:13 remaining in the first quarter of action. So now the two teams come on for the extra point. So Randy Reedhead, I believe, hard to tell from this distance. Yes, it is Reedhead. He's wearing number 26, not 39, as we had told you. We hadn't gotten that change until somewhat into the ball game, and Reedhead scores the touchdown as he hits Steve Cochran at 6:13. Our score is 6-0 the Cortez Panthers. Brian Ward on for the extra point, and it is wide right, no good. Did right. Our score was 6:13 remaining in the first down, 6-0. The extra point was no good, as now the San Juan Broncos are set to receive, as doing the kicking will be Brian Ward for the Cortez Panthers, and deep for the San Juan Broncos, Todd Black, David Barfus, and Corey Cochran about the 5-yard line. So getting on the board, the Cortez Panthers trying to defend that 4-0 record. Low line drive taken by Todd Black, and he falls right ahead forward at about the 20-yard line. So again, the footing was not very good out there as Todd just went right to his knees. He tried to go forward and just fell forward, and he was down right there at the 20-yard line. Once you fall, you're down. So the San Juan Broncos having not a lot of luck on the kickoff returns, as that's the second time they didn't get really anything. He would have gotten another possibly 10 yards, maybe made it out to the 30 as the ball was a low line drive. So the San Juan Broncos take over first and 10 at their 20-yard line, trailing 6-0 to the Cortez Panthers. In the backfield, now they split. Black and Jeff Nielsen. And to give to Nielsen, he's wrapped up right away, right at the line of scrimmage. Might not have gotten any yards on the play. So now it'll be 2nd and 10. San Juan Broncos have the ball at their own 10-yard line. two setbacks, and now the give to David Black, and David Black is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, didn't get anything. Good defense by the Cortez Panthers. Scott Brown in there for the Panthers, as was James Woosley, number 20, hitting David Black, as Black didn't get anything. Skinny Nielsen now comes off for the Broncos. 4:56 in the first quarter, and our score is 6-0. Cortez leading on a recovered fumble as Steve Cochran was hit by Randy Reedhead, and Reedhead scampered in the end zone about 25-30 yards for the touchdown. So 3rd down and 10, San Juan sends Clyde Jones left, as goes Mahana Fisher, and complete to Mahana Fisher, the pass, and down he falls. A little wet ground there as Mahana goes straight down. He may have gained about 3 on the play before he slipped and then was touched by a Cortez defender. So the San Juan Broncos will be forced to punt as it is 4th down and 7. Corey Cochran punting, low line drive almost blocked, taken by Scott Brown. Scott Brown at the 40. Scott Brown is across midfield where he's finally piled up. Steve Cochran making the stop. Good job by Steve Cochran. So the Cortez Panthers will take over good field position. Ball marked at the San Juan 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with 3:53 remaining in the first quarter of action. The score, 6-0. Cortez getting on the board. A fumble by Steve Cochran as he was hit from the blind side going to pass, and he fumbled the football, and Cortez had a touchdown. So Cortez takes over, and Reedhead and Woosley in the backfield, and the give to Woosley, off right tackle. Woosley, good gain, fumble, and I believe the Broncos have it, and the Broncos do have the football. So the Cortez Panthers cough it up, and San Juan again on the turnover, and I believe that was Farley Roberts doing the job picking up that loose football as Woosley went about 10 yards before he coughed up the football. So the San Juan Broncos will have it 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. So San Juan takes over. Black and Nielsen in the backfield, in the eye. Slot left goes Clyde Jones, and we give to the second man through. That's Nielsen. He squirts ahead for about 3 yards before he's wrapped up by the interior of the Cortez line. Scott Brown in there making the stop for Cortez. So it's 2nd down and about 7, as a gain of about 3 on the play for Jeff Nielsen. And for Jeff Nielsen, 4 carries, 6 yards so far in the night. Now David Barfus comes off for the Broncos. So San Juan will be faced with a 2nd and 7 situation. As now deuce backfield, Nielsen and Black. 2 men left, and now the give to Black, and Black is wrapped up for possibly a loss of 1 on the play. His forward momentum might have gotten him out across the 40-yard line to about the 42-yard line before he was finally wrapped up. The Broncos with the ball at their own 42-yard line. They're facing a 3rd down and 9 situation after the loss. Dropping back to throw, Cochran. Cochran incomplete. Intended for Skinny Nielsen, and maybe the wet football that time slipped right through Skinny's hands as several of the Cortez defenders were back there having chances to pick that one off. Doug Bond defending on the play for Cortez got a hand on it before it slipped by his hands. So the San Juan Broncos will be forced to punt, 4th down and 9 situation as the ball resting on the 42-yard line of San Juan. 1:56 remaining in the first quarter of play. The Broncos trailing 6-0. Now Corey Cochran's punt. It's a low line drive taken by Randy Reedhead. Reedhead goes right, and Reedhead is hawked down by Craig Swenson. As Swenson, good coverage on the punt, and Reedhead was thrown all the way back to about the 24-yard line where he was brought down, and that's where the Cortez Panthers will take over 1st and 10. So the Cortez Panthers 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line, as in the backfield, of course, they have Woosley and Reedhead, and now the give to Woosley straight ahead, and he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a couple. As Robert Mance was in there, Barfus was in there, several Broncos in there. So it'll be 2nd down and about 8, a pickup of 2 on the play for Woosley, and for Woosley's 2 carries, 12 yards on the evening, averaging 6 yards a carry. 1:05 left in the first quarter of action, and the Cortez Panthers leading 6-0 over our San Juan Broncos. Broncos in the 5-2, as now the give go. Now Bond fakes the handoff, passes out here, incomplete. A lot of water on the near sideline.
From Bond to number 80, Kearns.
Cedric Kearns, the wide receiver, coming in there. He's the slot back. He was going wide, and he didn't get it, so incomplete pass for Doug Bond, and Doug Bond has yet to hit one tonight. He's 0 for 3, as he hit one to Farley Roberts for an interception. The Broncos have intercepted one pass, and they've recovered a fumble. Farley Roberts, I believe, was in on the fumble, as the Cortez Panthers faced with a 3rd and 8 situation. And dropping back to pass, rolling right is Doug Bond. Heavy pressure. Bond lets it fly. Incomplete. Almost picked off by several Broncos. Jeff Nielsen may have gotten a hand on it over there, as Sean Jack, number 40, was also defending on the play. So that'll make it 4th down and 9, and the San Juan Broncos will get the football in good field position, as Skinny Nielsen and Corey Cochran go deep for the Broncos. Corey Cochran is at about the 48-yard line of Cortez, while Skinny is at about the 45-yard line of San Juan, and Doug Bond doing the punting for the Cortez Panthers. 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter of action. And now the snap is a low one. Bond forced to run, as Bond's going to be brought down as the San Juan Broncos take over in good field position at about the 20-yard line, as Doug Bond took the football straight ahead, and he was wrapped up right away. Of course, he needed about 10 for the first down, so the Broncos, on a bad snap, take over from the Cortez Panthers in good field position at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, where they will take over, so a break for the San Juan Broncos. 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter of action. San Juan Broncos in their usual formation goes to Jeff Nielsen. He goes off left tackle, and he's wrapped up. Not a lot of running room for Jeff Nielsen today.
Coming out 80, Broncos going in number 11, Corey Cochran. Carrying the play from Swenson. We'll have a 2nd down and about 8 as the quarter ends. We'll change ends the field.
So that's the end.
Dan Roberts, number 56. They're interior lineman, don't get much repetition, but they do a good job all night in blocking for the runners. Second and 8 from the 18. San Juan threatening.
Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. The Broncos have just taken over on possession, as Cortez turned it over, weren't able to punt. Now the Broncos reverse, goes to Skinny Nielsen. Skinny running wide, good move by Nielsen, gets by one tackler. Skinny is at about the 15, he's all the way inside the 10-yard line, goes out of bounds at the 7. Nice run by Skinny Nielsen, picking up about 7 or 8 on the play, might be close to the first down. Good job by Skinny Nielsen. He really faked out one guy as he run around toward the right side, and the defender for the Cortez Panthers had Skinny cut off, and Skinny made a move inside and went back outside for a big gainer. So it'll be 1st and 10, first down for the San Juan Broncos at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal.
Inside the 10.
San Juan brings it out. Black and Nielsen in the backfield. In the eye, they give to Nielsen straight ahead, right at the line of scrimmage where he's stacked up.
Bring up that middle.
Several Cortez Panthers doing the job, getting in there, stopping them. So that'll make it 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
Stops at 7.
Broncos' deepest penetration of the football game, as they're doing a good job, and 2 turnovers so far, as the Broncos' Farley Roberts has come through, interception and a fumble. Wide left goes Skinny Nielsen. In the backfield, now deuce backfield. Motion goes Clyde Jones. And handoff straight ahead. David Black. And David Black goes straight ahead, and Black is inside the 5. We'll have to wait and see where they mark it on the far sideline. So that'll make it 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Clyde Jones comes off, Todd Black goes in. So about 4 yards for a score for the San Juan Broncos. Second quarter action, 10:38 in the half remaining. So
back to things at hand. Broncos have got a 3rd and 4 for a touchdown.
Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field, where the San Juan Broncos are threatening to score. Ball 3rd down and 4 for the San Juan Broncos from the 4-yard line, as they must put it in here. 2 more shots at it. And now the give goes straight ahead, goes to David Black, and David Black is wrapped up. Maybe he got back to the 4-yard line before he was brought down. So Cortez standing tall right now at the goal line, making that inside the 5-yard line stand.
About 5 for a touchdown.
So it'll make it 4th and 4 for the San Juan Broncos. That far for a touchdown, as Skinny Nielsen goes wide left. In the backfield, Jeff Nielsen and David Black. Wide right goes Todd Black. Dropping back, Steve Cochran looking to pass. He's hit immediately. Ball tipped and incomplete by the Cortez Panthers, getting a hand on it that time. Robert Caldwell doing a nice job of getting a hand on that pass, as Steve Cochran just threw it a little high and it was tipped, although Skinny Nielsen might have had it. So the Cortez Panthers take over 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line, as Cortez is leading the football game 6-0. They got on the board. Randy Reedhead picked up a fumble from Steve Cochran and went about 25-30 yards for a touchdown in the first quarter. That our only score. So Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield for Cortez. The Cortez Panthers, of course, 4-0. And we give to Reedhead. He goes off left tackle. Reedhead goes straight ahead. May have gotten about 5 on the play. He's all the way out across the 10-yard line to about the 14-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and about 3 for the Cortez Panthers. A pickup of 7 on the play for Randy Reedhead. So Doug Bond in there now. 2nd down and 3 for the for the Cortez Panthers. The give goes to Woosley straight ahead, and Woosley has the 1st down and more, as he's out across the 15-yard line to about the 17-yard line before he's finally wrestled down. A couple of Broncos in there. Now Clyde Jones goes off for the Broncos on defense. Craig Swenson comes back on, the captain of the Broncos. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cortez Panthers from their own 17-yard line. Cortez is trying to keep the ball on the ground here in second quarter action. 9:13 remaining. Cortez leading 6-0. And now the give goes to... Now Bond faking. Bond has the football. A couple of fakes as Bond goes toward the right end. He's still on his feet. Bond running. He's out across the 35-yard line to the 40. Bond is still running, breaking tackles as Bond is finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Bond was hit about 3 or 4 times and broke tackles. I don't know if Bond is slippery because of the wet turf, but he got away from a couple of Bronco tacklers, would-be tacklers, I should say. So Bond picks up a lot of yards on that play, as it looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. What was the original line of scrimmage at now? 26, was it? So at 1st down and 10 from the 43-yard line to give to Woosley off left tackle. Woosley, he may have gotten out across the 45-yard line to about the 46. He's brought down immediately. 76 Robert Manson there for the Broncos. Marty Roberts in there. Second and 7 for the Cortez Panthers, and the give goes to Reedhead. Straight ahead, Reedhead bowls for possibly 1 on the play, so that'll make it third down and about 6 for the Cortez Panthers. Down and 5 for the Cortez Panthers as they have the ball at about the 47-yard line, their own 47. Now a couple of fakes and the ball goes to Woosley. He goes, not Woosley, now Kyle High on the carry. Ryan Ward make that. As Ward picked up the first down, Ward got across the 50-yard line to the Bronco 46-yard line where he picked up the first down. 7:16 remaining in the first half of play. San Juan trailing 6-0 to the Cortez Panthers. Cortez brings it out. Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield. The give to Reedhead, off left tackle. Reedhead stopped right about the line of scrimmage. Reedhead picked up a yard on the play. Farley Roberts, Robert Mance in there for the Broncos, making good stops.
76, Robert Mance in on the tackle. Second and 9. Good defense for the Broncos.
.634 cutting down. Woosley and Reedhead in there for the Cortez Panthers. And the give goes to Woosley around left in. He's got some running room. He's inside the 40-yard line to the 35 where he's finally pushed out of bounds.
Carrying the ball again. There's a fumble.
And a fumble on the far sideline. We'll have to wait and see who has it. Wait for the official's indication.
We'll have first and 10 on our own 35.
As Woosley made a nice run, he went left and had a lot of running room on that left side. Picked up the first down inside the 35-yard line to about the 34-yard line where there's a pile of Broncos over there, looks like. And we're waiting for the official's indication. And the Panthers keep it, but there will be a penalty against the Cortez Panthers. Looks like a clipping call. We'll have to wait and see if the Broncos take it. I'm sure they will, as a pickup of about 10 on the play for Woosley. So they'll walk it off against the Cortez Panthers. And as they do that, we'll take a break. We're listening to Bronco football on 79 KUTA.
Call on the Panthers. That'll bring us second and 14. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field, and he just walked off against Cortez. The give goes to Reedhead. He's got some running room. Reedhead gets all the way back to the 40-yard line of San Juan before he's brought down, so a good gain by Reedhead, picking up about 12 yards on the play. 5:55 remaining in the first half of play. 6-0 the Cortez Panthers lead. Right on the 40. That's going to bring third and 4. So it'll be third down and 4. Reedhead getting back a lot for the Cortez Panthers on that play. Ball marked at the 40-yard line. Dropping back is Bond. The heavy rusher Bond in the puddles out there. Still running. Bond trying to get away from David Black. And Black, he gets away, and a flag down on the play. And a fumble. It looks like the Broncos may have it. Recovered that one. What a wild play that was. As a flag on the play, as Doug Bond was running all over the football field. If the flag is not against the Panthers, Bond made the first down. Bond had to go to about the 36-yard line, make it, of San Juan for the first down. And now they're talking to Craig Swenson. It looks like it'll go against the Cortez Panthers, and there's another break for the San Juan Broncos. And it'll be a clipping call going against Cortez as they walk it off, and that marks the ball all the way back to the 44-yard line of Cortez. Another penalty. That's going to be a 15-yarder. That's going to put the ball back So no, it's not going to be marked at the 46-yard line or 44. It'll be the 29-yard line, so it'll be from the point of infraction, which was back around the 45-yard line of Cortez, so it'll be walked off from the 45-yard line of Cortez, not from the point of the fumble. And I guess they're saying the Broncos did not recover the fumble. So it'll be third and about 29 for the Cortez Panthers. Look for a pass, of course, here, as the Broncos are just playing center field out there. Skinny Nielsen very deep for the Broncos, as is Jeff Nielsen. Now the snap, another penalty, as the play's blown dead by the officials. And as the officials sort things out, we'll take a break. You're listening to Bronco Football on 79 KUTA.
That'll be number 5 against the Panthers. That's going to bring up a third and about 40. Big opportunity to work with the defense if they can hold them.
Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. A succession of penalties has driven the Cortez Panthers back in their own territory.
Bond in shotgun position.
Ball marked at about the 25-yard line, as San Juan is really, really deep, playing a prevent. Bond looking to throw. Bond has a man open. He's hit as soon as he caught the ball. As soon as the ball got to him, Cedric Kearns was immediately struck, as Kearns was just upended. Something fierce by Todd Black. Todd Black timing it just perfectly. The ball got there just as Todd Black hit Kearns, and Kearns coughed up the football. Never really had it. The ball hit his front of his pads and just bounced away. So that'll make it fourth and 39 yards to go after several penalties against the Cortez Panthers. So the Panthers will be forced to punt. Skinny Nielsen, Corey Cochran deep, Bond punting. Bond's kick goes off one of his own men, taken by the San Juan Broncos, as the Broncos recover the football inside the 15-yard line, and that hit the deep blocking back for the Cortez Panthers, as the blocking back just was pushed into the punter, again like last week. David Barfus did it last week. He pushed the blocking back into his own punter, as Doug Bond kicked the ball and hit his own man in the back, and David Barfus applying the pressure again this week. So David Barfus must have some knack at that, as he's done 2 in a row now. Last week he got one against Kanab, as David Black fell on it for a touchdown. So another golden opportunity for the San Juan Broncos to score. 4:31 left in the first half of play. Broncos send Clyde Jones and Skinny Nielsen right. And now I believe we have some sort of broken play, as no, I guess not. Straight ahead went Perkins, as Perkins went straight ahead, didn't get very much if he got one. So it'll be second down and 9. He may have gotten a yard on the play. So credit Perkins with a yard on the play. Broncos bring it out, 4:01. They have the football. Ball at the 15-yard line, or make it the 14-yard line for San Juan. And the give left goes to Steve Cochran. Now keeps it himself. Cochran has some room, and he may have gotten inside the 10-yard line to about the 9-yard line. We'll have to wait and see where they mark the football. Steve Cochran giving a couple of fakes that time, but kept it himself and bootleg left. So it'll make it 3rd and 6 for the San Juan Broncos. A pickup of about 2 on the play for the Broncos, as the Broncos inside the 10-yard line now. I believe they can get a first down at about the 3-yard line or 4-yard line. Broncos come out I formation. Perkins and Black. Rolling right is Steve Cochran. Heavy pressure, throws it. Incomplete. Almost picked off. Ryan Ward was right there, putting a lot of pressure. He almost had a hand on it. As Craig Turner also was in there. I believe it was number 40. So that'll make it 4th down and 5 for the San Juan Broncos, and they can get a first down inside the 5-yard line. But the Broncos now calling, I believe the field goal team has come on, and they have a timeout on the football field. And while they have a timeout, we'll take a break too. Corey Cochran to try for the field goal. So now Corey the field goal. As Cochran's kick, it is blocked, as Corey Cochran could not kick it. About a 28-yard field goal blocked, and several Cortez Panthers in there blocking the kick. As Corey never had a chance, there was too many people in there, so Cortez takes over with 2:57 remaining in the first half of play. Cortez ahead 6-0. That by Randy Reedhead as he picked up a fumble and went 30 yards for a touchdown, the only touchdown in the ball game so far. So the Broncos in their 5-2 defense. Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield. They give straight ahead to Woosley, right down the middle, as Woosley might have gotten 1 or 2 on the play, just rolling forward.
25-yard line, that'll be second.
Richie Monson in there. Second down and about 7 for the Cortez Panthers. Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield. Rolling left is Doug Bond. Bond taking it himself, has some running room left side. Bond is all the way out across midfield, and Bond still on his feet. He's finally pushed out of bounds around midfield. Now the officials are saying he went out of bounds at about the 48-yard line of Cortez, so a big pickup for Bond.
45-yard line.
That kid's club off quarterback.
First and 10 on the 46-yard line for Panthers. Ball game number 33 is Black going in, number 54 is
So the San Juan Broncos giving up the yardage. Doug Bond in there now on first down. Bond rolling right. Several Broncos over there. Bond still going. Bond across the 50-yard line. He goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and he's really stacked up. But good running room again for Bond. He picked up about 8 on that play. Bond has done a great job. Bond picked up 25 on the preceding play. So Doug Bond is really rolling things up against the San Juan Broncos. So it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Cortez Panthers as they've driven the ball well, although only one score, 1:51 remaining in the first half of play. Cortez Panthers bring it out. In the backfield, Woosley and Reedhead. Right goes Scott Brown. Now the reverse to Brown. Brown fumbles, and there'll be a loss all the way back to the 40-yard line of Cortez on the play. And Scott Brown fumbled the football on the end around, and he lost the ball and rolled it back, and he jumped on his own fumble, and the Cortez Panthers got a break there. So they'll make it 3rd down and about 13 on the play for the Cortez Panthers as they will be pushed all the way back to the 42-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 14 or so for the Cortez Panthers. 3 men in the backfield for Cortez. The give goes to Ward. He goes straight ahead. He's out across the 45-yard line where he's brought right down.
Number 76.
Robert Mance doing the job for San Juan, bringing down Ward. So Ward got back to the original line of scrimmage. Juan Broncos trail the Cortez Panthers 6-0, 1:02 remaining in the first half of play. So it'll be 4th down and about 9 for the Cortez Panthers as they have the football. Ball marked at the 46-yard line, their own 46-yard line. Here's the snap. Now it's a fake punt. Bond running. Bond has some running room. He's out across the 50-yard line, and he does have the first down. And the Cortez Panthers fake punting as Doug Bond was the punter. He just took it, and he's run right out of the pocket. And Bond doing a great job of picking up the first down. So Bond picks up 13 yards on that play, and Bond has really been the man running so far.
About the 43, 1st and 10.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of San Juan, and Bond gives the football, fumbled, and Cortez recovers as they maintain possession, as it was Randy Reedhead making the carry. Reedhead just lost the football, possibly in the wet turf. Ball getting wet. The officials changing balls frequently. As it rained prior to this football game, practically for 3 or 4 hours prior to the football game, I should say a day in advance almost, as it was raining the night prior to this football game. Now the Cortez Panthers bring it out. It'll be 2nd and 10. Bond on a reverse, now the fake reverse, and it goes to Ward. Ward has a lot of running room. Ward is inside the 25 to the 20-yard line where he's finally brought down. So a big gainer for Brian Ward for the Cortez. Randy Reedhead. Randy Reedhead, number 26. Number 10, Scott Brown, into the Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field where we're about ready for second half action between the San Juan Broncos and the Cortez Panthers as the Panthers are leading 6-0, getting on the board. Randy Reedhead taking a fumble and running in the end zone for about 30 yards, and the extra point was no good for Cortez, so that's where we stand now scoring-wise, 6-0 as the Broncos will kick it off. They received in the first half as San Juan will do the kicking. Stacy Yazzie to kick it for the Broncos, and taken at the 25-yard line by Scott Brown. Brown has good field position. He's out across about the 35-yard line of Cortez. So Brown takes the low line drive, and the Cortez Panthers take over in good field position at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. We're just underway here at second half action. If you just joined us, the San Juan Broncos are leading 6-0, or trailing 6-0 rather. I'd like them to be leading 6-0, of course. 6-0 on a Randy Reedhead fumble recovery and return. Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield. They give to Reedhead. Reedhead picks up about 4 on the play. He's out across to about the 40-yard line where he's brought down. Corey Cochran over there, as was Sean Jack in there on the stop of Reedhead. So 2nd down and 4, pick up about 6 on the play. Straight ahead goes Reedhead, I believe, and he's still on his feet. He just rambles straight ahead as Reedhead has the first down. So Reedhead picks up about 4 on that play, as he picked up 6 on the prior play. So that'll be a first down for the Cortez Panthers. That's their first down of the second half, and the 6th first down in the football game unofficially for the Cortez Panthers. The band strikes it up for the San Juan Broncos on this side. Rolling left is Doug Bond. Looks like he's going to take it himself. Now he turns it upfield. Bond has good running room. He's inside the 45-yard line. May have gotten inside the 40-yard line of San Juan before he was finally ridden out of bounds. And Doug Bond has done a great job so far running the football, keeping it himself. A lot of blocking out front. Randy Reedhead doing a good job of blocking. And now it looks like the officials will mark the ball at the 44-yard line on the far sideline. Reedhead went out of bounds. He picked up 11 on that play. Now the give straight ahead goes to Reedhead, I believe, straight ahead off left tackle, as Reedhead was stacked up. As he goes inside the 40-yard line to the 37-yard line of San Juan, and the Cortez Panthers are driving. Cortez 4-0, of course, coming into this football game, trying to keep that 4-0 record alive. So it'll be 1st and 10, a first down on the play. Now Bond gives to Ward. Ward goes straight ahead. Ward rambles for about 5 yards. He's inside the 35-yard line to about the 32-yard line where he's finally stopped. So Cortez grinding out the yards here at San Juan High School football field. be second down and 5, a pickup of 5 for Ward on that play. And the give straight ahead goes to Woosley. Woosley has another first down for Cortez, as Woosley goes straight ahead, big hole. Craig Swenson almost had him back in his own backfield, so a pickup of about 7 on that play, and the Cortez Panthers are looking extremely good here. So first and 10 from the San Juan 25-yard line. Cortez, 3 men in the backfield. And to give to the middleman, that's Reedhead, I believe. And Robert Mance brings down Reedhead as he goes straight ahead, bowled for a couple of yards. Pickup of 3 on the play, so that'll make it second down and 7.
The ball game number 77, Stacey Rogers coming out, Mance, 76.
So the Cortez Panthers not passing the ball whatsoever here in the second half of play. Did not complete a pass in the first half. And now Doug Bond is going to keep it. He's going right, and this time he's going to be sacked for a loss. And we've got a penalty on the play. Flags down all over the place. Could be a face mask. A big loss on the play, about 7 yards on the play, a loss of, that is, for the Cortez Panthers, and we'll have to wait and see what the indication is. 8:45 remaining in the third quarter of action. 6-0, the Cortez Panthers lead the San Juan Broncos. And as we wait for the indication, we'll take a break. You're listening to Bronco Football on 79 KUTA.
Taking it way back into their own territory. Second down on their own 41-yard line. That makes first and mile.
Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. 2 big penalties against the Cortez Panthers. A holding call and an unsportsmanlike conduct call. So the ball is all the way back to the 40-yard line of Cortez. Now the pass, screen pass goes left, complete, as Reedhead has some running room. Reedhead on the left side, he's across midfield, inside the 45-yard line to the 43-yard line of San Juan, and Reedhead gains a bunch of those yards back. Reedhead picks up 16 yards on that play, a screen left, the first completed pass for the Cortez Panthers.
Down about 25.
Although now we've got third down and about 30, as that's how far it was. 2 15-yard penalties, so it really drove the Cortez Panthers back, those 2 calls, but they got some of them back. As here's the handoff, goes to Ward, and Ward fumbles the football. Broncos have it. I believe Farley Roberts again recovering a turnover as Roberts jumped on the football as the end around to Brian Ward was fumbled. Wet grounds, of course, making the ball slippery. Farley Roberts, his second fumble recovery, and he's also picked one off this evening. So Farley Roberts has been Mr. Johnny on this one, and a big break for the San Juan Broncos as it looked like the Cortez Panthers were possibly going to score. So the Broncos take over at their own 46-yard line, first and 10. Left goes Skinny Nielsen. Now pass out to Skinny, and it goes through his hands, incomplete. Robert Caldwell over there defending. Robert was right on Skinny. Skinny didn't really have a chance to make the catch. 7:37 remaining in the third quarter of action. The San Juan Broncos trailing 6-0 to the Cortez Panthers. A tight ball game so far. No score in the second half, as only one score in the first half. Randy Reedhead picked up a fumble as Steve Cochran was hit when he was going back to pass. Reedhead took it in for the touchdown. You get him straight ahead to David Black. David Black now has some running room. He goes inside across the 50-yard line. He possibly got to the 49-yard line of Cortez. So a pickup of 5 for David Black. And for David Black, that's probably the longest run for him on the night, as not a lot of running for the San Juan Broncos. Cortez Panthers have done a good job of shutting down the Broncos' running game, which did well last week in the second half. So Broncos bring it out 3rd down and 5. Key situation from the 49-yard line. Steve Cochran throwing, has Skinny Nielsen intercepted now by Caldwell of Cortez, and Caldwell brings it all the way back to the 36-yard line of Cortez, and that was a big turnover. We've got flags on the play as well. So Skinny was open for a fleeting second. If the ball would have been thrown deep, Skinny might have had plenty of running room. The ball underthrown by Steve Cochran, and it was picked off, and the penalty will go against the San Juan Broncos, and that's got to hurt. San Juan recovering the fumble. Now they turn one over. Steve Cochran on the night is 2 for 5. Make that 2 for 6 as he threw an interception that time.
Looks like the penalty against the Broncos. Panthers will be flying, and they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 35. 36.
So the Cortez Panthers take over after the interception by Caldwell. And the give goes straight ahead to Reedhead. Reedhead going up the middle, struggling for about 4 yards on the play. Reedhead is just running straight ahead. Reedhead, of course, 6 foot, 175-pound junior. Not overly big, although has some good size for what he does. He has quick legs, and he's keeping the motion going straight ahead, and that's what you have to do to gain the extra yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 7 as Reedhead, the ball carrier on that play. And it again goes to Reedhead, straight ahead. This time Reedhead is stacked up, as he may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, which was about the 38-yard line, where we'll have to wait and see where they mark the football. Now the officials are marking it at the 39-yard line, so he picked up possibly 1 on the play. 3rd down and 7 for the Cortez Panthers. In comes Kyle High and Scott Brown. Out goes Brian Ward for the Cortez Panthers, and the Panthers have looked rather well here running the football, although they have not passed it but once. That went to Randy Reedhead. 2 men in the backfield in the eye. Now Doug Bond looking to pass. Bond will be wrapped up for a loss. He'll be all the way back to the 32-yard line of Cortez. So a loss of about 8 on that play, as that'll make it 4th down at about 15 yards for the 1st down for the Cortez Panthers, and it doesn't look good, so Cortez probably will be forced to punt. And now Cortez punting, heavy pressure. Bond gets it off. Skinny Nielsen retreating. Skinny takes it at the 25. He fumbles the football. Looks like Cortez may have the football at the 25-yard line of San Juan, as Skinny Nielsen took the punt and Skinny dropped it. He tried to pick it up twice and still couldn't find the handle, as the ball just squirted away. Wet turf again taking its toll, and this time the San Juan Broncos are hurt by that wet turf. And that's a big break, as Cortez just turned the football over. Didn't look good. San Juan defense came through and stopped the Cortez Panthers, as now the Panthers have the ball in good field position. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of San Juan. The San Juan defense will be put to the test. And now the give to fake handoff goes to Woosley. Now Bond takes it himself. Bond is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. So Bond hasn't carried the football very well here in the second half. Bond has 2 7-yard losses in this third quarter and didn't get anything on that one as he was hit right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll make it 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line of San Juan. Broncos in the 5-2-4 defense as they've got 5 people up front. And now the whistle blows the play dead, and we'll have to wait and see what the indication is, or what the indication is, as the officials out there conferring possibly an offsides or illegal procedure against one of the 2 teams. And it is illegal procedure. It'll go against the Cortez Panthers. And the San Juan Broncos will take that, of course. Play blown dead. 6-0. Cortez out front. 3:47 remaining in the third quarter of play. You're listening to Bronco Football on KUTA 79. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. 6-0 our score. Third quarter action. 2nd down and 14 for the Cortez Panthers. It's straight ahead, give to the right side. Cortez picking up a few yards on the play. Reedhead again on the carry. And he's close to the 20-yard line before he was brought down. We'll have to wait and see where the officials marking the ball. Of course, every play here, the officials are wiping off the football, which is a good thing to do because several fumbles this evening as the turf is extremely wet. A lot of rain prior to the football game. 3rd down and 8 now for Cortez. From the 25-yard line now, that's where it's marked. And now Bond rolling left. Looks like he'll take it himself. Bond still going wide. Bond turning upfield, and he goes out of bounds for a pickup of only about 3 on the play. Maybe a long 2 possibly for Doug Bond, as Bond was strung out on the play. Broncos doing a great job of stringing things out. Craig Swenson over there on the right side doing a job at his linebacker position. 2:47 remaining in the third quarter of action. 4th down and about 6 for the Cortez Panthers. Make it 8 now for the Cortez Panthers. Hard to see. We've got a muddy field out there. Hard to even see the yard markers. As Reedhead and Woosley are in there now. Going deep is Kyle High, and the play is blown dead. We'll have to wait and see what the indication is, possibly a legal procedure. Yes, it is. It'll go against the Cortez Panthers. 2:45 remaining in the third quarter of play. Our score 6-0 Cortez. They got on the board in the first quarter of action. Randy Reedhead picked up a fumble from Steve Cochran as Steve went back to pass, and he was hit from the blind side, and he coughed up the football at about the 25-yard line, 30-yard line or so, and Reedhead scooped it up and went in for the only score in the football game. So it'll be 4th down and 8 for the Cortez Panthers at the San Juan 25-yard line and make it the 30-yard line. Doug Bond rolling. Now Doug Bond in the mud puddle, and Bond slips in the water. And there's a break for the San Juan Broncos because Bond might have slipped through that gap as the Broncos had heavy pressure. Farley Roberts in there. Stacy Yazzie putting heavy pressure on Bond, and Bond had slipped through the little gap that had been created by the blocking for the Cortez Panthers, and it was Doug Bond slipping in probably the biggest mud puddle out there, and Bond went down, and of course the Broncos caught up with him. So San Juan takes over 1st and 10. Ball marked at about the 35-yard line of San Juan. Nielsen and Black in the backfield. And the give goes to David Black. David Black has some running room. Pickup of 6 on the play. Now it's fumbled. San Juan, I believe, has the football. If it didn't go out of bounds first, David Black, and we'll have to wait and see where they mark the football on the play. The ball squirted loose. Of course, wet grounds, as I said many times so far. The wet grounds causing a lot of fumbles, and both teams coughing the football up several times. So David Black picks up 7 on the play. Ball marked at the 30, make it the 42-yard line of San Juan. So 2nd and 3 for the San Juan Broncos. And the give straight ahead. Flag on the play goes to Black again, and Black went straight ahead. He was, well, that wasn't Black. Todd Black was the carrier. The other Todd, the other Black in the Broncos lineup. Holding will go against the San Juan Broncos on the flag, and that'll move it back.
Looks like we're going to accept the penalty while we move it back 15 yards. Second. Looks like about second and 18 for the first down. Down to 25 to 26-yard line.
So the San Juan Broncos were penalized on the play holding, and now Steve Cochran holding right. Steve Cochran, heavy pressure, and he passes out complete, incomplete, tipped away, far sidelines. Couldn't quite tell if the ball had been caught by David Barfus. He was open just for a minute or so as Barfus was over there, and the ball was thrown on his far side as Barfus had his back toward us as the ball just knocked down. Randy Reedhead over there knocking the ball down for the Cortez Panthers. So that'll make it second down and 18 for the Broncos. Third down and 18, check that. Ball marked at about the 16-yard line of San Juan. Todd Black and Skinny Nielsen go wide right. In the backfield, Jeff Nielsen and David Black. Now both backs in the pattern. Steve Cochran, heavy pressure. Steve Cochran fumbles the football. I believe his arm had gone back but not had come forward. And the Cortez Panthers recover the fumble as Steve Cochran again loses the football. His arm was up, but he did not have it going forward, so the officials ruling it a fumbled football. That was the correct ruling from our standpoint. So as the two teams switch around, we'll take a break. You're listening to Bronco Football on 79 KUTA. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. The Cortez Panthers has just recovered a fumble. Steve Cochran coughed it up again. This time the give goes to Reedhead, straight ahead Reedhead, inside the 10-yard line to about the 7-yard line. I believe Cortez can get a first down inside the goal line as the ball was marked just outside of the 11-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. So Reedhead picks up about 4 on the play. It'll be, I believe, second down and 6 if they can get a first down, which would be about at the 1-foot line. And the give goes to Woosley, off right tackle. Woosley picks up a few before he's stacked up. Several Broncos over there, good defense. So that's the end of the third quarter of play. Our score, 6-0. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field where we're about ready for fourth quarter action. Now the teams have switched sides and wide left goes Cedric Kearns, and we've got movement on the line as the Cortez Panthers, I believe, drew the San Juan Broncos offsides as Doug Bond, the quarterback for Cortez, was mixing up the count. And it is offsides, and it'll go against the San Juan Broncos, so that'll move it half the distance to the goal line, as it was third down and about 7. I believe the Cortez Panthers can get a first down inside the 1-foot line. Hard to tell from this angle, though, because we're sitting at midfield, and the sideline marker is hard to tell. I believe they can, so we'll have to wait and see what happens if they do not make a touchdown and get close to the goal line. So now third and 3, so half the distance to the goal line. Ball was marked at about the 7-yard line, so it's third and 3 for the Cortez Panthers. Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield. Give to Woosley straight ahead. Woosley close to the goal line, and no indication, so he did not get in. He went straight ahead for about 3 or 4 yards, the required yards, and now they say there was a first down, so they can get a first down or could get a first down. I was right on that, as it'll be first down from about the 1-foot line, as it looks extremely impossible for the San Juan Broncos to stop Woosley and Reedhead, as Woosley picked up about 3 on that play. Woosley and Reedhead, 3 men in the backfield now, and straight ahead, Doug Bond, touchdown. Cortez Panthers take a 12-6 lead with 11:34 remaining in this football game. That's a big score for the Cortez Panthers. So the Cortez Panthers getting on the board, 12-0. Now they will try the extra point. I don't know if they'll go for the 2-point conversion. They missed the first extra point. The kick was wide right. And it looks like now the Cortez Panthers are going for the 2-point conversion. Woosley and Reedhead in the backfield. And the give to Woosley. He goes straight ahead through a big hole. And Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field, just underway in the fourth quarter, and the Cortez Panthers have just scored on a 1-yard run by Doug Bond. The 2-point conversion was good by James Woosley, taking it right in. Now here's the kick after the touchdown, and the kick by Ward, and the kick goes to Todd Black. Black takes it at the 20-yard line. He's across the 20. Black still on his feet. Black still going, breaking one tackle. Black out across the 30-yard line, stopped at about the 33-yard line. So a good return by Todd Black. Black broke a couple tackles on that one. The kick from Brian Ward was not extremely good, although the ball scooting on the wet turf, and that makes it tough to field. The Cortez Panthers have been intelligent in that standpoint, as they've kicked the ball low and it's scooted on the turf, hard for the Broncos to scoop it up. So the San Juan Broncos take over, 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. As the give goes to David Black, David goes straight ahead for a couple yards, make it 3 yards on the play, so that'll make it 2nd down and 7 for San Juan. The Broncos have to get something going. They need to get on the board early in this fourth quarter, plenty of time remaining. 10:56 and counting down. The Broncos could get on here, the board, get the 2-point extra point, and they'd make it 14-7, cut that lead in half, or 14-8 with the 2-point extra point. A touchdown and a conversion would make it 14-7, of course. So San Juan has to get on the board this drive. Jaron Adams in there. Adams now throwing the football, and it's batted down. Randy Reedhead blocking the ball as it just went up in the air, and the ball was very dangerously close to being picked off. So Jaron Adams in there now. I don't know whether Steve Cochran has been injured or if he's just been replaced by Jaron Adams, number 14 in there. Backfield still the same, Black and Nielsen. And the give goes to reverse now. It goes to Skinny Nielsen. He's running wide. He'll go nowhere as he'll be sacked for a loss on the wide end around. Randy Reedhead in over there, stopping Skinny Nielsen. Skinny was just freight trained that time, as he was brought down for a loss of about 4 on that play. So now it'll be 4th down and 15 for San Juan, and they'll be forced to punt. Ball snap, the low snap. Now Corey Cochran looking to pass. Incomplete as the ball was intended for Jeff Nielsen. It was batted away. Number 74, Steve Bowles, batting the football away as Corey Cochran, the punt was low, or the snap was low, I should say. And it bounced in the turf, and the turf was wet, and the ball was wet, and Corey really threw a wobbler out there to Jeff Nielsen. As Bowles cut in front, doing a great job of batting the ball down. And there was a flag on the play, and we'll have to see who it goes against. Wait for the official's indication, and it'll go against the Broncos. So it'll be 1st and 10. The Cortez Panthers take over with good field position at their own 28, or at the San Juan 28-yard line, I should say. 9:45 remaining in the football game. Things don't look too KUTA. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. 9:45 remaining in this one. 14-0 Cortez leads. Now Doug Bond mixing up the cadence, and see Ozzie in there on the line jumping across. So it'll be marked off against the San Juan Broncos. So that'll make it 2nd and 5 for Cortez. Ball resting on the 23-yard line of San Juan. Broncos can ill afford to give up another score here. Crowd awfully quiet on the San Juan side as things don't look very well for the Broncos. Cortez controlling the football. Clock running in the Cortez favor against San Juan, of course. 3 men in the backfield. And play action fake. Now rolling right is Doug Bond. Bond has a lot of running room. He goes right side. He's inside the 15-yard line to about the 12. We'll have to see where they mark the football. They'll mark it at the 11-yard line. So Doug Bond picks up the first down. Cortez brings it out. Now Cortez brings it out, hands off to Woosley. He has some running room. He's inside the 10-yard line. He's close to the goal line. We'll have to wait and see where they mark the football. Woosley inside the 5. I believe he will be stopped at the 4-yard line, and that's where they say it is. As Woosley, a lot of running room. Now it's marked at the 2-yard line, so Woosley did get inside the 5-yard line. Hard to tell from our angle as the turf is wet, and it's been wet all evening as it rained for lots of hours prior to this football game. Stacy Ozzie comes off for the Broncos. 9:07 remaining in the football game. 14-0 Cortez, knocking on the door again for another score. This time they give to Reedhead, straight ahead, touchdown. Cortez Panthers go out front 20-0 here with 8:57 remaining in the football game. Randy Reedhead, a 2-yard run. 8:57 remaining. The Cortez Panthers get on the board for the second time in this fourth quarter. They'll go for the 2-point conversion. James Woosley straight ahead, touchdown, or he has the 2-point conversion in the end zone. Our score 22-0 here in third quarter action as the San Juan Broncos are going to have to get on the board quickly here if they're going to get back in this one. They need a couple of touchdowns. Now here's Brian Ward's kick after the score. Low line drive. Taken by David Barfus, goes through his hands. He picks it up at about the 5. Barfus still running. Barfus is finally wrapped up. He gets across the 10-yard line. So 8:48 remaining in the football game. San Juan trailing 22-0 to the Cortez Panthers as Cortez looks like they're on the verge of winning their 5th straight game, and the San Juan Broncos may be dropping their 4th straight football game as they're trying to break a 3-game losing skid. San Juan has just not looked all that great here in this second half. Wet conditions, although both teams playing under wet conditions, not wanting to make any excuses. Steve Cochran back in at quarterback. David Black and Jeff Nielsen in there. And the give straight ahead goes to David Black. He's wrapped up for a gain of about 3 on the play. He may have gotten out to about the 18-yard line. One brings it out. 7:56 left in the football game. 22-0 Cortez out front. And the give straight ahead goes to Jeff Nielsen on the carry. And Nielsen is all the way out to the 25-yard line. He has the first down for the Broncos. So Jeff Nielsen picks up 8 yards on that play. And Jeff Nielsen only 7 carries, 16 yards. Not a good night for Jeff Nielsen. Not what he normally does. So David Barfus comes off for the Broncos. Corey Cochran comes in. Broncos come out. Wide left goes Skinny Nielsen. In the slot, Todd Black. Slot right. In the backfield, Black and Nielsen, David Black. At quarterback, Steve Cochran. Cochran tries to pitch. Now he's going to be sacked for a loss of about 6 on the play. As good defense by Cortez, smelling that coming. Scott Brown in there making the sack. As Steve Cochran tried to pitch out. So now the Broncos will be faced with a 2nd down and 18 situation as they have to go all the way out to the 35-yard line for the 1st down. Ball resting at about the 17-yard line. Steve Cochran hands off and stacked up at the line of scrimmage is Jeff Nielsen. Now they are saying fumble. We'll have to wait for the referee's indication. And it is a fumble. And unpiling is number 32, Brian Ward. I believe he was man down there. Jeff Nielsen was the ball carrier. And he just loses the football. So another turnover for the San Juan Broncos, who have been plagued with turnovers in the 2nd half. And that's been the difference so far. So Cortez takes over in good field position. Ball at about the 17-yard line of San Juan. Cortez 1st and 10. Wide left goes Scott Brown. In the backfield, Mosley and Reed, and play action fake. Bond passing for Brown, incomplete, tapped around by Corey Cochran and Todd Black, breaking up the pass.
Nice pass defense by the Broncos, almost intercepted by number 11, Corey Cochran.
So it'll make it 2nd down and 10 as the pass goes incomplete. Cedric Kearns goes left for Cortez. In the backfield, Woosley and Reedhead. And I believe Reedhead will be called for illegal motion as he moved before the play. He was leaning forward before the snap, so it'll be walked off against the Cortez Panthers, and that can only help the Broncos. 5:59 remaining in this one. 22-0 our score. Cortez leading, trying to make it 5 straight, as Cortez has a perfect record coming into this ball game. Clyde Jones now comes in there in defense for San Juan. Illegal procedure called against Cortez. That'll mark it back 5 yards. Ball marked at the 22-yard line of San Juan, where the Cortez Panthers will have it. It'll be 2nd down at about 13. Cortez has to go to about the 6-yard line for the 1st down. In the backfield, Woosley and Reedhead. Slot right is Kearns. And passing Doug Bond. It's blocked and tapped away. Knocked away by Farley Roberts. 76, Robert Mance in there. So Broncos, good defense that time. That'll make it 3rd down and 15 for the Cortez Panthers. San Juan is running out of time. Farley Roberts comes off on defense now. The line across there, the 5-2. Wide left goes Kearns for Cortez. Reedhead and Woosley in the backfield. Dropping back is Doug Bond. Bond fires. Tapped away, good defense, knocked away by Jeff Nielsen as he got in between Caldwell for Cortez. Caldwell had a clear shot at the football, and Jeff Nielsen jumped right in front of him. So that makes it 4th and 15. It looks like a field goal. About a 40-yarder for Brian Ward of Cortez. This will be a real long one if he can get it down. The snap is fumbled by the holder, Scott Brown, and it's picked up by Ward, and Ward will go right down. Lana Fisher in on the stop, and now we've got some flaring tempers in there as Jeff McDermott is over there. And there's a flag down on the play, possibly a face mask. Legal procedure against Cortez, so Broncos will probably decline as they're talking to Craig Swenson. More than likely they'll decline as the play went for naught as the snap was fumbled. Wet turf so far has taken its toll on both teams, although the Cortez Panthers have gotten the best of the fumbling here. San Juan Broncos take over 1st and 10. Ball marked at the 34-yard line of San Juan. In motion goes Clyde Jones, far side. Dropping back is Steve Cochran. Now he's under pressure. He lets one go. It's complete to Perkins. Perkins takes the ball. He rambles out across to about the 38-yard line where he's brought down by Scott Brown of Cortez. David Barfus on the reception. Check that.
About the 39-yard line. Pick up his 5 on the play or 6. That'll be 2nd and 4.
Second and 5 for the San Juan Broncos. Ball marked at the 38-yard line of San Juan. The snap, and it's fumbled by Jaron Adams, now in their quarterback. So a lot of penalties coming here in the final quarter of play. 4:49 left in the football game. 20 in motion near side comes Todd Black. Jared Adams, play action fake, pass out complete to Todd Black. Todd Black now flips it to Skinny Nielsen on the handoff. Skinny inside the 30. Skinny still going. He's the 20, and he tight ropes and he goes out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So a nice play by the Broncos. Coming up with a trick play, if you will. So about a 41-yard gain on the play as Todd Black caught the ball lateral to Skinny Nielsen, and he rambled down to about the 25-yard line of Cortez. He almost went for the touchdown. And on the following play, straight ahead goes Terry Perkins. As he goes straight ahead, and the ball marked at the 24-yard line now. So a pickup of 1 for Perkins. A nice play by the San Juan Broncos. A little tricky play there. As Todd Black caught the football, he lateraled to Skinny Nielsen. Skinny went down the sidelines for about 42 yards on the play. So that'll make it 2nd down and 9. Jaron Adams passes left. Complete to Skinny Nielsen. Skinny has some running room. He's inside the 15-yard line. Goes out of bounds at about the 12. We'll have to wait and see where they mark it. So another 1st down for the San Juan Broncos. They're driving. 3:38 remaining in this football game. It won't be impossible to get 22 points, although it looks extremely dim for the Broncos, getting 22 points in 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Although I've seen stranger things happen in high school football. As the Broncos are driving, they're getting closer to the touchdown. Ball marked at about the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. So the San Juan Broncos have the football. Not 1st and 10. They can get a 1st down. Ball marked at the 12-yard line. Going straight ahead. Penalty on the play, rather. So we'll have to wait and see what they call. It looks like illegal procedure coming against the Broncos. So that'll make it first down and 15. They'll play it over again. Our score, 22-0. San Juan Broncos trailing, trying to get on the board for the first time in this football game. And the Broncos have been shut out 2 straight halves. Last week they did not score in the second half of play, as they've been shut out here in the first half of this football game. So the Broncos trying to break a long goose egg, a total football game of goose eggs, as a matter of fact. Broncos bring it out first and 15. Handoff goes to Terry Perkins around left end. Perkins will be stacked up. May have gotten 1 on the play. San Juan Broncos bring it out, line up the line of scrimmage, and another penalty on the play. It's already second down and 14 for the Broncos, so another penalty walked off against San Juan, I believe, illegal procedure. That'll push it back 5 yards. Ball marked at the 24-yard line of Cortez. San Juan had gotten to the 12-yard line, and they'll have to go to about the 3-yard line for the first down. 2:56, 2:55 now counting down, 22-0 our score from San Juan High School football field. The Cortez Panthers out front. Now the Broncos, Todd Rack and Skinny Nielsen go wide. The pass to Skinny Nielsen is complete, and Skinny is at the 5. Touchdown! San Juan Broncos get on the board for the first time in this football game. A 24-yard pass from Jaron Adams to Skinny Nielsen. The San Juan Broncos have gotten on the board with 2:39 remaining in the football game. San Juan Broncos line up for the 2-point conversion to give to David Black, and he will be stopped, and they will not get the conversion. So our score, 22-6 with 2:39 remaining. To Skinny Nielsen from Jaron Adams. You're listening to Broncos. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field. The San Juan Broncos have just gotten on the board for the first time, and as I pointed out, in practically a whole football game, they were shut out last week in the second half and shut out this week in the first half. As the Broncos got on the board, 2:39 remaining in the football game, a 24-yard pass from Jaron Adams to Skinny Nielsen, good for 6 points. Now the kickoff after the touchdown, and the kick goes off the side of Stacy Yazzi's foot, and the ball goes out of bounds. I believe it will be marked at about the 43-yard line. Obviously, he shanked that one. Either that or he was trying for some sort of onside kick, but if it was an onside kick, the ball never had a chance of even hitting the football field, which has been wet all evening long. So the ball will be taken by the Cortez Panthers, first and 10 at their own 41-yard line. That's where the ball will be marked. In the backfield, Woosley and Reedhead. 3 men now back there. And we give to Reedhead. He's got some running room. He's out across the 45-yard line, dropped at the 46-yard line. 2:31 remaining in the football game. 22-6 our score here at San Juan High School football field. And it looks like the San Juan Broncos will lose their 4th football game in a row. Their record would then drop to 2-4 on the season, while the Cortez Panthers would move to 5-0 if our score remains. Cortez comes out, 2nd and 7, pickup of 3 on the last play. Fumble by Doug Bond on the snap. Bond falls on it wisely. Steve Craig back at San Juan High School football field, and a minute 52 remaining. Cortez has the football, trying to run out the clock. Now the give to Reedhead. He goes straight ahead. He gets back to about the line of scrimmage. He's brought down by a host of Broncos. 4th down and 7, and the Cortez Panthers will be forced to punt. Here's Doug Bond's kick. High end over end, towering boot. Ball drops at the 30-yard line, rolls back to about the 24-yard line for the San Juan Broncos. As the Broncos will take over, minute 36 remaining in the football game. 22-6 the score here from San Juan High School football field. Things have not gone very well for the San Juan Broncos this evening. Second half saw many fumbles. As the Broncos got down there, they had plenty of scoring opportunities in the first quarter of play, second quarters of play. As San Juan just could not put it in. They had a field goal attempt blocked in the first half. As the Cortez Panthers have done a lot of scoring this evening. 22-6 our score. A 122 and counting down. Jaron Adams in at quarterback. Adams looking to pass. He fires out to Skinny Nielsen right through his hands. Incomplete.
Skinny Nielsen, incomplete. That'll stop the clock. Second and 10. Nielsen in the backfield. Marcus and Nielsen at the end.
Broncos bring it out, 2nd and 10. Black and Nielsen in there, and the pass across the middle, caught by Corey Cochran. He's got some running room. Corey is all the way out across the 45-yard line, and he's finally dropped at the 50-yard line. So Corey Cochran picks up a big gain.
25 yards, they're going up to the 50-yard line, this side of the 50-yard line, 1st and 10.
So about a 25-yard gain on the play for Corey Cochran, and handoff goes straight ahead. David Black, he's wrapped up. Make it Todd Black as he took the ball coming across the middle. So Todd Black is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. San Juan has not had a great day. San Juan has it, 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line of San Juan. In motion goes Clyde Jones. Now the pass out to Clyde Jones. Watch for the pass downfield. Clyde Jones throwing the ball a long way. Nobody open, just overthrown. Intended for Corey Cochran. Over there was Jaron Adams, also flared out of the backfield. San Juan brings it out, just 43 seconds remaining in our football game. 22-6 our score. Cortez out front. Jaron Adams rolling out. Now he rolls right, looking downfield. He fires one, and it is complete to Clyde Jones. He catches the ball at the 30-yard line. So a 20-yard pickup on the play for the San Juan Broncos. Clyde Jones making the reception from Jaron Adams. He did a nice job of staying in bounds as he caught the football and held both feet in bounds. San Juan brings it out after that completion to Clyde Jones for good for 20 yards. Ball marked at the 30-yard line of Cortez. Now the pitch out goes to Jeff Nielsen. He's going to pass. He looks downfield. He lets one fly. Skinny Nielsen in there, and the ball is tipped away by Doug Bond near the goal line, and flag on the play in the backfield. So we'll have to wait and see what that flag was. And there will be a penalty coming up. 28 seconds remaining in the football game. The San Juan Broncos have taken to the pitch out and throw the ball down in field, trying to freeze the linebackers. It has worked a couple of times. The Broncos just airing things out, I think. As 22-6, it looks like the Cortez Panthers will win this football game. So the Broncos bring it out now. 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. No penalty on the play, my mistake. Jared Adams dropping back, heavy rush. Ball fired, incomplete. Dropped by Mahana Fisher as Mahana Fisher took the ball about the original line of scrimmage. Before he tried to run, he dropped the football. So the Broncos trying to pass. They've passed about 4 or 5 times right in a row here. A couple of option plays, pitching out to the back and then passing. 2 men in the pattern. Now Jared Adams looking downfield, intended for Skinny Nielsen. It's complete, caught at the 10-yard line, and Skinny goes down immediately. So the Broncos have another first down, and 17 seconds, and the clock is stopped. 22-6 our score. Now San Juan has it. They throw out to the right side just to stop the clock, and it's incomplete as Jared Adams intended for Todd Black going out the right side. He just threw that one out of bounds. Adams did. 10 seconds remaining in this one. 22-6 our score. San Juan trailing. The Cortez Panthers are going on to win their 5th straight football game. They're undefeated so far in the 83 season, as the Broncos have just tried to pass every down here, just trying to get another score. 10 seconds left. Maybe the Broncos will get 2 plays here. Ball marked at the 10-yard line following Skinny Nielsen's reception for about 20 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Broncos. 2nd and 10 should be. And now the pass to Corey Cochran. Touchdown over the middle. San Juan scores it. 7 seconds remaining in the football game. The San Juan Broncos get on the board for the 2nd time in the football game. That makes it 12-22 for the Cortez Panthers. So the San Juan Broncos trail by 10 points as we've got probably a 2-point conversion coming. Now the extra point is kicked, and it is wide. 12 for the Broncos, 22 for Cortez. The Broncos. Now the kickoff after the touchdown. Just 7 seconds remaining in this football game. 22-12, Cortez out front of the San Juan Broncos here at San Juan High School football field. Now the onside kick, a low squibber, and Cortez just content to fall on it. Scott Brown just falls forward on it. The ball will be marked at about the 20-yard line. So 6 seconds remaining, 1 second ticked off the clock on that ensuing kickoff. Broncos played well here in the late going, looked awfully well here in the end, although a little late and a little short as our score 22-0. And that looks like